Hey, sis, I'm looking at souvenirs right now. What should I get?
What have you been up to? You haven't contacted me in forever.
Huh? You tried reaching out? Didn't notice. What happened?
How can you be so carefree? I'm in the middle of a funeral.
A funeral? What are you talking about? Whose?
Your daughter's.
What do you mean?
It all happened on the day my sister said she was going on vacation and left her daughter Ellie with me. Despite knowing that Ellie had a fever, my sister left anyway. I reached out multiple times, but no response. By the time she did get back, it was too late. I was beyond furious. My concern after being married for 4 years has been our inability to have children. We planned for a family right after getting married and have made several attempts to make it happen, but we've been unlucky so far. My sister got pregnant 2 years ago, married, but divorced within 6 months. Since then, she's been dumping her kid on me.
It's good practice for when you have kids of your own, so it's fine, right?
She would always say this when leaving her child with me. Each time, it gave me mixed feelings. Still, a life is a life, and I accepted the responsibility. But I've had enough of my needs being ignored. So this time as well.
I want to leave Ellie with you again because I'm going on a trip with friends for a week.
Again? Didn't I just take care of her last week?
That was for work. It couldn't be helped.
Why can't you ask our parents for a change? I have plans too, you know.
What plans, kid you? A houseworker possibly have? It's fine, right?
But for a whole week?
I'll bring back souvenirs. This is a long-planned international trip. I can't cancel.
Then why not take Ellie with you?
Having a kid along would be a nuisance to others. Plus, I want to enjoy myself alone.
Ellie will feel lonely. You're being completely selfish.
So that's how it is? I'll bring her over before I leave tomorrow. Bye!
Sighing at the abruptly ended phone call, I decided to talk to my husband about the situation when he got home from work. Well, isn't it something? Yeah, it is. So I need your help with this. Sorry, I'll be away on an extended business trip starting tomorrow. Really? How long will you be gone? About 5 days? Maybe a week if the meetings drag on. So I have to take care of everything alone while you're away? It's my job. Can't help it. Fine. If it's too much, maybe consult with my mom. I couldn't believe I'd be left alone to manage everything for a whole week. I felt like giving up already. My niece was incredibly attached to my husband, probably because she doesn't have a father figure in her life. I remember a past instance when we babysat her, and she had a terrible night of crying. My husband was the one who soothed her, but this time I'd be alone. Just the thought of going through that again filled me with dread. Then the day of my sister's trip came. My husband left early for his business trip, and I was alone waiting for my sister.
Take care then.
With that, my sister was about to dash off. But then I noticed something off with my niece. Ellie, your face looks a bit red, doesn't it?
She's been running a slight fever since this morning.
What? You're leaving your kid like this?
I've been looking forward to this trip. I can't not go.
At least take her to the doctor.
It's nothing unusual. She'll be fine. If you're concerned, you take her. I have to go. My flight is soon.
Wait a minute.
Consider it good practice for when you have a sick child of your own. You learn. Bye.
I couldn't believe she would leave her feverish child and go on a trip. An intense wave of anxiety rushed over me as I looked at my weary niece. She's only 2, too young for over-the-counter medicine. Fortunately, it seemed like a low-grade fever, so I cooled her head and put her to bed. Not knowing what else to do, I called my mother. Mom, she dumped Ellie on me again. She's even gone on vacation this time, and Ellie seems to have a fever. What should I do? Stay calm. Is the fever very high? It's a low-grade fever for now. Then keep an eye on her. If she has seizures or convulsions, call an ambulance immediately. All right. Contact me if anything happens. Hearing my mother's words slightly alleviated my anxiety, but I still couldn't bear the thought of going through this for a whole week. It pained me to watch her suffer, even if it was just a low-grade fever. That night, my niece's condition took a turn for the worse. Her fever spiked rapidly, and seeing her suffer, I hurriedly called an ambulance. I tried to call my sister too, but for some reason, she didn't answer. What can I get through? Could it be because she's abroad? I then tried to reach my husband, but had no luck there either. Is his phone out of service? While feeling like I was going to be crushed by anxiety, I called my mom, and she arrived right away. Mom, what should I do? I'm... Don't worry, the doctors are on it. She'll be fine. But there was no improvement, and her condition worsened. I tried to reach my sister every hour, but no response. And then, 4 days later... No way! This can't be! I'm so sorry! So sorry. Ellie passed away. She was just 2 years old, and didn't even get to see her mom one last time. I broke down crying, not knowing what to do. It's not your fault. There was nothing you could have done. I know, but still. And what is she doing? Not answering any calls? What could she be up to? If I've known it would come to this, I would have asked for her hotel at least. Filling up with regret, I had Ellie's body taken to the funeral home. I couldn't get a hold of either my sister or my husband to discuss what to do next. His business trip was supposed to end tomorrow, so all I could do was wait. Seeing how worn out I was, my mom told me to get some rest, and I finally got a good night's sleep for the first time in 4 days. The next day, I tried calling my sister again with no change. My husband didn't return either. Growing concerned, I decided to contact his office. They said he was actually on a week-long leave. I felt a bad premonition. I never paid it much attention before, but Ellie was fond of my husband, and he get along well with my sister. My husband would often tell my sister she was cute, and she seemed to enjoy it. And when my sister would leave Ellie with us, my husband often returned home late, but lately, they came back together. Once the suspicion began, it snowballed. The day they both left was the same, and the number of days they've been missing is the same too. Is this a coincidence? I went to check my sister's Instagram and found photos from 2 days ago. She was in a hotel room, enjoying room service. Upon closer examination of the photos, I noticed my husband's reflection in the mirror. I was convinced that they were having an affair. Leaving a sick child behind for an affair, and with her own sister's husband at that. Unforgivable. I saved the photos, and in between arranging Ellie's funeral, I obtained divorce papers. 2 days later, Ellie's funeral took place with only family members present. Why isn't she here? Still no contact? That's right. Not being at her child's funeral. What kind of mother is she? Unbelievable. Finally, my sister called, just as our parents were fuming.
Hey, sis! I'm at the airport shopping for souvenirs. I'll be back today, so I'm wondering what you'd like. I also want to thank you for taking care of Ellie.
What have you been doing all this time?
I was on vacation.
We tried reaching you multiple times. Why didn't you pick up?
Huh? Sorry, I didn't notice. Maybe because I was abroad. Anyway, do you want anything?
We're in the middle of a funeral right now. Let's talk later.
Whose funeral?
Your daughter's.
What? What are you talking about?
Ellie passed away 2 days ago.
Wait, I don't understand.
Ellie had a fever and you just left her. She was calling for you, saying mom, mom until the very end.
Huh?
You're essentially responsible for your own daughter's death.
Wait a minute.
If you can't believe it, come back home. That night, astonishingly, My sister came back home with my husband. Seeing my husband comfort my sister as she broke down in tears made me feel disgusted.
I'm sorry. If I had been there for her, I'm truly sorry.
I know this is a bad time, but I have a question.
What is it?
Ever since the night you left for your trip, I've been trying to contact you every day. I've called, sent text messages, and even WhatsApp messages, but you never responded. Why is that?
Well, I was abroad and I couldn't use my mobile phone.
Is that so? Then what's this? I showed her a picture from her Instagram. This was posted 4 days ago. If you could post this, then you must have been able to use your phone at the hotel, right? You noticed my messages but found it too troublesome to reply, didn't you? That's why your WhatsApp messages were never marked as read. You simply didn't want to communicate with me. Am I wrong?
That's not true.
Let's ask the other person in the photo then.
The other person?
Did you enjoy your trip with my sister?
What?
I zoomed in on the photo and showed it to both my husband and my sister. Both of them turned pale as ghosts. Our parents, who also saw the photo, were shocked.
Looks like it's you in the mirror reflection.
Care to explain?
Isn't that a mistake? I was on a business trip.
I contacted your company. They said you were on a vacation for an entire week. If it wasn't you in the photo, then where were you?
You
must have had a great time posting a photo like that. But you made one big mistake.
I didn't think I would be caught in the reflection.
I'm sorry.
Finally, both of them admitted to their affair. The tension in the room was palpable. My parents were livid.
What on earth are you doing?
I can't believe you abandoned your child for a fling. You're no daughter of ours anymore. We're cutting you off.
I tolerated this because you were a single mother. But we've been giving you so much money. I want it all back. I never want to see your face again. Hold on, Mom, Dad.
Quiet. Don't even come back.
Can't you say something, sis?
What's there to say? This is all on you. I hope you regret this for the rest of your life. I couldn't bear my sister's negligence towards her child, so I told her off coldly. My sister kept apologizing to Ellie through her tears, but Ellie never returned. And of course, I couldn't forgive my husband, who had been supporting her. This involves you too.
What?
Sign this now. We'll discuss the compensation through lawyers.
A divorce? Why?
Why? Are you kidding? I can't be with someone who cheats with my sister.
Wait, I messed up. We can talk about this.
Talk? You lied about a business trip to go on a cheating getaway. There's no talking to you.
Oh, well.
Any more discussion will go through the lawyer. I submitted the divorce papers to the court, and it was agreed that they would both pay me a total of $50,000 in compensation. I left the house and returned to my parents.
Here I am again. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. You're our only daughter.
Exactly. Better be here than with some creep.
I'll be in your care for a while.
My sister and her husband apparently got together after this, but it didn't work out and they broke up in less than 6 months. To pay off the compensation, my sister is working all the time and now lives modestly in an old apartment. My ex-husband worked at his company for a while, but became uncomfortable after his affair was exposed. After paying the compensation, he disappeared. And frankly, I don't care anymore. Now, I'm enjoying a peaceful life. Making plans to travel with my parents, it's liberating. I'm fine alone for now, but I do want kids someday. Hopefully, I'll meet someone wonderful.